So we're back on again, instantaneously.
I like pie.
You like pie? Pie's good. I want pie
Yeah.
now. I should... I was going to, bake today, but I kind of ended up just not. I'll probably end up...
We missed so much, all you viewers. It felt like forever.
It was forever. Like, for you, it may have simply been a minute, but we were stuck, like, in a deep, dark place.
Yep.
I don't actually like pecan pie, but that's also just because I just don't generally like nuts in general.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of the pine nuts. I like apple pie with ice cream predominantly. Like, I don't like it by itself.
Yeah, that's a classic.
Really...
Yeah, fruit-based pies tend to be good because that's like what I come to a pie for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really love pumpkin pie and chocolate pie.
Haven't really had chocolate pie that much, but yeah, I just love chocolate, so I'm down with that. I actually like key lime pie quite a bit, actually. It's just soft,
yes,
right?
I love key lime pie. That's my favorite too. Yeah, I usually make my own like homemade chocolate pie, and it's really good.
Okay. Oh, by the way, I just think sweet stuff's good in general. Desserts, pretty fantastic.
Sweet stuffs are the best. That's how you live a fun life.
That's how you enjoy yourself.
Well, Squaw says I'm not familiar with the pie lifestyle.
I like cake
Chocolate
better than
cake is
pie,
the best.
Mosca, so I'm better with...
That is a valid.
This is a line for you,
opinion.
Jupiter, because we know this character.
Oh, yes.
Where are you? Bread dough. The stove's been spitting fire, searching everywhere for you. Gestress. Fade to black.
And the clock continues to approach whatever that is.
Don't you get it? The red is for the third impact, or second impact. No, third impact. I was going to turn into orange tang.
The red is for whatever happens at the end of Devilman.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Okay. Inside a massive dome was a gigantic all-weather exercise facility, large enough to fit several American football fields in. The ceiling was high too, and it felt like you could pack an entire small city in there. When there's blood moon, all the monsters respawn, and they're really mad. And considering humanity's all the real monster, surely everyone will come back to life, and everything will be good and nice, right?
Don't you know a red full moon means it's a vampire werewolf orgy?
It's a wait, what?
It's a vampire werewolf orgy.
Ah. That sounds fun.
It's the blood full moon.
Right?
Oh, no.
The ceiling was high too, and it felt like you could pack an entire small city in there. Countless children were doing strict military drills, and the place was filled with a mix of kids chanting and adults giving harsh instructions. 1, 2! 1, 2! Hey, you're looking sloppy, put your heart into it. All of you except those two at the front are trash. You imbeciles. Everyone except those two line up. Wham! Whack! Thwack! Aren't those the,
Hooray,
like, spells?
child abuse.
Yeah, we've been in the child abuse for a while. Aren't those the spells from, like, you know, the dark spells from Dragon Quest?
Mm-hmm. Oh, goodness.
All the children in the line were hit, one after another. Corporal punishments against children was forbidden in all AOU educational institutions. However, since this place wasn't affiliated with any educational institution, they were allowed to use it without mercy. Yay, loopholes! The kids seemed to be split up into classes according to their age and build. Overall, most of them were very young, with the very youngest class looking too young even for grade school. However, you wouldn't see any traces of peaceful voices and laughter you'd expect from a kindergarten or elementary school. Even the youngest class was repeatedly yelled at by the instructors, and none of their expressions looked like what you'd expect from children of that age. The scene was being filmed by several cameras and displayed in monitor rooms. Gathered in that room were an inspection team of officers from all the AOU nations, listening to a staff member explain the situation. As the whole world knows, the most important measure of aptitude for controlling the gauntlet is P3, Parallel Processing Power. However, this doesn't mean that anyone with high P3 levels can become a capable member of the aerial augmented infantry. If you have high P3 levels but also an extreme fear of heights, the aerial augmented infantry is definitely not for you. Yeah, these... Especially if the second scene is the one I'm thinking about. That second one, if it is that one, is...
Are we gonna need to drop any trigger warnings or anything?
Yeah, I definitely, like, we've already had some stuff that kind of there, but nothing's been super explicit.
Yeah.
Yeah. CK Whisper, is it the scene I'm thinking about? Where they look into Pandora's box? As a euphemism for what actually happens? Because I don't think anyone in chat would have an issue with it, but you know, better safe than sorry. Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. There'll be some messed up body horror-ish stuff.
Okay, we can drop like a trigger warning for that before we read it, or like before we click on it, because I think you'll know.
I might not remember, but I'll like, I should know in like one line in before it really gets started.
Yeah. All right.
If your P3 levels are decent, but your sense of spatial awareness is lacking, then you're probably not well suited for it either. Not only do you have to be in total control in midair, a place where humans are normally unable to exist, but you also need to fight and achieve victory, so several other aptitudes and talents are also required. The combination of these qualities is called Aerial Augmented Infantry Aptitude. It's not too far off from what was once demanded of fighter pilots. P3 levels in Aerial Augmented Infantry Aptitude. Currently, these two factors are the most highly prized, but our institution, we have been seeking after and researching a third kind of aptitude. And I suppose this third aptitude is Fighting Spirit? Actually, could you take this guy? Because I've already...
Alright.
I know.
And I suppose this third aptitude is Fighting Spirit.
Oh, you also took Okanogi. I'll take the other guy.
Okay. That's probably true. Kids these days are totally missing that, after all.
As if Okanogi gazed at the scenes of trading filled with corporal punishment, he shrugged and laughed. This was the Giroi Level 4 Heavy Military Research Center. It had once been an AOU Russia Research Center for Regenerative Medicine, but it was now run by the AOU Combined Military for the purpose of training aerial augmented infantry elites.
Oh, I think we're gonna learn about Kolshka, aren't we?
For that reason, staff members came from countries all over the AU, and a mix of all sorts of languages could be heard. In this era, if you added a translation tool to your Cellcom, different languages shouldn't have been a problem at all. However, people from previous generations, like old military officers, had brains that worked extremely poorly with Cellcom. So even in this age, they need to be accompanied by subordinates who can translate for them. The third type of aptitude is self-empowerment. You might simply simplify it with the word confidence. Naturally, we've always known that we humans can draw out our abilities to varying degrees depending on our confidence in ourselves. However, no one has researched how to make this happen in people, outside of vague theories of mind over matter. When people who lack confidence notice something important, they sometimes think they just saw it wrong, ignoring the fact that they noticed it. However, people with confidence are sensitive to even the smallest things they spot, and they never doubt their instincts. When flying at 140 meters per second like a fighter plane, that can be the difference between life and death. In the world of
do none of these people read up on child psychology? Do they not think about hiring a child therapist to figure this out? That are like, I've studied thoroughly the psychological effects of raising kids. I totally know the effects of how to make sure a child has good self-confidence.
Yeah, but Jupiter, think about how little we know about psychology now, and how often how much we mistreat mental health issues and other things, and for how long humanity just had a bunch of crackpot theories. They can easily fall into hey, this works. Think about how much just crazy things military research they spent on like uplifting dolphins is a thing that the American military tried with DARPA and stuff. No, seriously, they
I know, it's just like, it's just so funny that they overcomplicate themselves when there's already years of research of this behind, but it's kind of like in a hilariously irony.
Psychology sounds like soft science to me. What if we hit them with our hard fists?
Yep. Yeah.
In the world of alien
Oh
augmented...
yeah, that's right. This is the military. We don't touch soft science. We're all hard science.
Hard men
God.
making hard decisions while hard. Okay. In the world of
It's like when the original organizers like, all right, so we got a mixture of hard science scientists and soft science scientists. Like, wait a minute, we're a military. We need no soft science. Get rid of them. Like, but so we. No, you don't, like, no, get them out. We don't associate with that softness. Makes us look weak.
Only throbbing girthy science is allowed here. The hard, raw, uncensored science. They just can't get it up to that softcore shit anymore.
I know.
Okay. On top of that, it's essential for them to have high aerial augmented infantry aptitude, as well as sufficient self-empowerment with regards to both of those first two qualities. However, self-empowerment is an acquired trait. It's considered something you gain after repeated experiences starting from infancy. In the before Third World War world, education that encouraged growth through praise was highly promoted, but no one ever heard of it producing favorable results, so perhaps the strict training corporal punishments laid on these monitors was this research institution's answer to that problem. Still, all this strictness really takes me back. After all, education's been so soft lately. Not hard, like my dick. In my day, it was normal to be taught with an iron fist.
Sir, you joined the military at 21. This is a 6-year-old.
6?
It's just like, what the fuck? These people are like, oh yes, these
soft toddlers
millennials have had it too easy.
When I was their age, I was drinking my mother's milk or something.
It's like a hilarious.
I suppose this man's self-empowerment can be cultivated through tough training. These psychotes have had it too easy. Well, I wonder.
Oh my god. Well, I wonder about that.
Privately, Okanogi was utterly unconvinced that this self-empowerment thing could be beaten into children. When he had been a kid, all educational institutions used corporal punishment. And as the period of restoration following World War III continued, the world grew a bit more peaceful, and many people assumed that children who had never experienced a major war were slacking off precisely because they were so blessed. To counter this, they were punished strictly and unreasonably.
We gotta beat the fascism into these kids' heads. Over.
When he looked at the education in the modern era where corporal punishment was banned, he did indeed feel that those children were missing something vital that needed to be nourished. Much like the vital nutrient of military power. Parallels.
God. This military hellscape.
Like, the more that we go on, the military hellscape part becomes more and more, evident. However, he was still dubious that strict corporal punishment that would give them this so-called self-empowerment.
After getting scolded and beaten endlessly, plenty of them have lost hope, or they've become subservient. True, some of the ones with good grades may have achieved this so-called self-empowerment. Wait, but if they become, subservient, very subservient, isn't that really ideal for a soldier? Because that means they'll actually, properly, follow commands and directions, which is what you want.
That's literally what the military does. That's the whole point of, the strictness of drill sergeant and stuff. They want to beat it into your head of do what I say.
Yeah.
Yeah. Though this might be going down a slightly different route.
Oh.
You over there. That's exactly right.
Huh?
Some people with good grades have indeed achieved this self-empowerment. That's correct. We realize that self-empowerment can be achieved most effectively by experiencing victory. Learn the taste of victory. It will allow you to endure any sort of effort. Michael J.
Damn,
Jonathan.
that was a bit sudden cut.
It had been long known that a human's actual ability is determined by multiplying their talent by their degree of self-empowerment. No matter how much talent they've been blessed with, people who lack confidence can never achieve anything. Conversely, those who lack talent from the start will be useless no matter how confident they are. In fact, they can even get in the way of those with true talent. In other words, self-empowerment must be given to those with talent. That way, those who possess superior talent will be able to multiply their actual abilities several times, thanks to their superior self-empowerment levels. Also, this is so horrible to say that it's actually, like, hard. However, though, the before World War, like, similar to some of the other stuff that's happened.
This entire culture's like, wait, what if the Fountainhead actually had a point?
Oh my god. However, though the before World War III world was unaware of the existence of self-empowerment, they hadn't yet discovered how to cultivate it. But interestingly enough, education in school was unintentionally providing an environment that encouraged self-empowerment. Gentlemen, have you ever wondered why early levels of education, are we getting education critique? Group all sorts of students together into classes without splitting them into depending how good their grades are? Generally speaking, during mandatory education in the AU, classes were split up more or less at random. Once you reach high levels of education, you will be usually divided up partially based on your grades, with everyone going to educational institutes that match their own levels of academic talent. However, even during mandatory education, academic ability would surely differ quite a lot between children, so why don't they split everyone in this class based on everyone's ability? In fact, thinking about it this way, it's almost though they were going out of their way to distribute everyone equally. In biology, it's known that social animals tend to form hierarchies within groups. Humans were the same, until now it was thought that this was because individuals with less ability to survive would be weeded out, allowing for the strong to survive and procreate. However, as a result of our research, we've discovered that the most important factor in self-empowerment is experiencing victory. And we've learned that the more you experience victory at a very young age, the stronger your self-empowerment will be. True, experiencing victory at a young age can really boost your confidence. And if you don't experience it at all in your youth, it can make you grow subservient. So, simply put, whether you're a winner or loser in life is determined at a young age.
Seriously? Who thought up this hellish technique? I thought mandatory education was like a microcosm of society's unfairness, which you get the experience when you're young. There's good people and bad people. Smart people and dumb people. If you break the rules, you get scolded. But if you're the only one following the rules, you become an outcast. You learn who you should be nice to and who to stay away from. Even if you do nothing wrong, you can suddenly be victimized. But if you're a bit clever, you can get someone else to take the fall for you. I thought mandatory education was all about stuffing all kinds of people into the same class so that the rules of society can be beaten into them, even though ethics prevented teachers from saying these things flat out. But what if it wasn't about something as soft as making you experience society's unfairness? What if it has a clear, concrete, or educational purpose? If educators are doing that knowingly, how the hell can you call that a sacred profession?
Though he smiled thinly and ironically, even Okanogi felt sick. In other words, the point of mandatory education is to lock you up the elite you want to nurture the most in the same class as their prey. As at our institution, we form a class with a clearer understanding of the targets we want to develop, completely controlling the class environment in order to allow those targets to experience a sufficient amount of victory. The monitors focused on a single instance of that rigid training. Each child was displayed with a green indicator box and ID, but just one person in that class was displayed with a blue indicator box and ID. They seemed to be doing a long distance run, and the children marked with the blue seemed to be in pain, They remained at the head of the pack without their pace faltering the slightest. In comparison, the children with the green indicators were clearly exhausted, and some of them seemed to be giving it their all just to be pretending to run. An instructor blew his whistle and the run ended. Everyone lined up. The blue child was incredibly exhausted, but still seemed to have quite a bit left in the tank, so they were to swiftly reach their place in line. However, all the green children were clearly staggering, which seemed to earn them the instructor's wrath almost immediately. Several people who had moved slowly were called forward and beaten one after another. The girl with the blue box is the development target of this class. All the green boxes are immediately part of the environment constructed to let that target experience victory. Now look over here. We've measured the girl's current condition. The different monitor was showing various graphs based on all sorts of data being measured by the girl's eternal 8ms. This was right after heavy exercise, so her physical readings had declined due to exhaustion. However, several graphs showed that her mental condition had actually improved. These indicate several positive reactions that can lead to improved self-empowerment, such as sense of accomplishment and exhilaration. These are the results of an unconscious sensation of superiority, which is produced by the fact that the target achieved the best grades in the class, as well as the fact that those with the lowest grades were punished, but not her.
Hooray! I absolutely agree, Mosca Blanca. This is a fucked up way to thinking. It's fascism.
This is
It's teaching fascism to kids.
yeah,
Okay.
fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah. So, she's a farmed winner.
Euphemisms. I prefer the term well-managed winner. Her class
has been assembled for the... Oh!
Her class, it happens, I do know a billion times to you. Her class has been assembled for the purpose of allowing her to experience victory. Won't that sometimes give her a big head and make her stop trying to work hard? Pardon me, Your Excellency, but hard work is only necessary for average people who don't measure up. Not even 200,000 children across the whole world have enough talent to join the aerial augmented infantry, making use of the gauntlet's cutting-edge technology. Those with sufficient P3 levels in aerial augmented infantry aptitude to be in the top 1% are geniuses. No, you might even call them super geniuses. What they need isn't hard work, but enough self-empowerment to give them the confidence in their genius. Of course, geniuses who work hard will surpass those who don't, but that's a whole different story, so we don't need to go into it now. So is that white girl in the monitor one of those super geniuses?
Your Excellency, she's one of ours.
Oh, really? She's Second Lieutenant Chloe Ironside, formerly of the Canadian Air Force. Sweating buckets after a long-distance run, Chloe stood at attention absent-mindedly, looking at the poor performers who were being punished. She neither pitied them nor felt superior to them. But was that really true? In fact, it wasn't. She couldn't fully deny that part of her was relieved that she wasn't joining them, and she did feel superior. Where's your fighting spirit? Stand! I can't believe people like you ever thought you could join the aerial augmented infantry. Do you think a gauntlet is some sort of magical device that can make gutless people like you fly through the air? Don't underestimate the aerial augmented infantry. Don't underestimate what it takes to be a soldier. The beatings continued on and on. This wasn't a school, so there was no escape. You had to undergo harsh training to become a gauntletite and remain victorious through your exams. And you weren't even allowed to leave until that period of time ended. All of them had signed admission contracts while fully aware of this. However, everyone who had filled out the general public application form would be marked with a green box. They wanted to fly. They wanted to become heroes of the sky. But this institution never had any intention of granting that childish, innocent dream these children all shared. All of them were merely being thrown from a cliff into a kettle, still believing that they'd be able to fly. They had been gathered here as fertilizer for the Blues, the true development targets of the institution. I see. So when punishment of the poor performers is more strict, the experience of victory becomes greater? Contingency fees and other methods that reward success are not cost-effective. They're useful when dealing with extremely limited group elites, but it's possible to reward everyone suitably that way. Okanogi, that girl represented us at the Battle Standard Festival, right?
Yes, she's part of Grave Mold. Her talent and aptitude are definitely top class, but it hasn't led to results for some reason. She wasn't sent here.
I suppose she was diagnosed with lack of self-empowerment.
That's right. Jeez, I wonder who caused that, Okanagi. No matter how much I tell her, that nincompoop is always nervous, totally lacking confidence in herself. Haven't I karate chopped her enough by now?
Chloe has entered the room, boyo. Yeah, they're like flukes. Just people like tested eugenics. There's so many factors going into it. They're just the lucky exceptions.
I don't want to live in this society anymore.
When did you ever want to
Getting
live in this
fucked up.
society? Why would you want to live in this society? I guess
Poor children. Alright, you're Lilia, aren't you?
Yeah, oh yeah. Meow, 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 meow. Welcome back, meow, you.
I'm back.
Uh,
I'm so tired.
whoa, Chloe, you're way too low key again. Get fired up, meow.
Shut up, Lilia. Try and keep the adrenaline under control. You get.
That's funny because that means Chloe has her filters on still.
And Chloe, try keeping your adrenaline up a bit more. I'll bet you screwed up and got slapped. I worked really hard today. Just now, the people who were slow got hit a lot.
Sucks to be them, meow. If they're giving up after a little training like this, there's no way they understand what it takes to become a gauntlet knight, meow, meow.
Lilia sure is lucky, being able to get such a high after winning against Small Fry.
Of course, meow. I'm the best in the world, so everyone else is small fry to me, meow. Of course, that includes you and Chloe, too.
I'm not a small fry. I'm trying my best.
Every single one of you is a small fry except for me, meow. Look at me, meow. Lilia's sensation data was projected into the three girls' virtual room. They seemed to be doing parallel thinking training, and Lilia, covered with sweat, was proudly celebrating her victory, checking her score with her mental monitor. Lilia was in first place with a P3 level that far surpassed second place. She was one of AOU Finland's top aerial augmented infantry aces. Naturally, a normal trainee would be able to match her. So even Lilia didn't view this as a competition to get first place. She was just challenging her own boundaries like it was a game. However, she still seemed immensely satisfied when she saw how much she had overpowered the others on the score chart. However, Chloe was far more worried about the audio data, which carried the voice of an instructor lambasting the poor performers. The instructor's insults were a simple collection of verbal attacks against their character, just a torrent of words meant only to wound their target, shame them, and cause them mental anguish. Chloe, who could sympathize with their pain, bit her lower lip and hung her head.
Is there something wrong with me? Is Lilia the one who's right? There's nothing wrong with you. Is that what you want me to say? It's not like that. You don't like it when people get beaten down and cry. You should quit. Get your spot open for someone else. That way, one of the people who would have been crying won't have to. I just want to fly. But no one ever told me that I'd have to beat a whole bunch of people down, that I'd be forced to watch them cry.
Don't be so soft.
Am I soft? That's wrong, isn't it? Isn't it?
You can't reach the sky just by stretching out your hands, meow.
Is it possible to achieve your dream without someone else's stepping stool? Why should we have to compete and take each other out?
Because a lot of brats... Oh, sorry.
Because a lot of brats want to fly, obviously.
And only a few people can become Gauntlet Knights, meow. So now you gotta beat them down for the sake of your own dreams.
You know what? You know what? In the first place, why are there so many of us here? Because they're making a lot of them. Humanity was almost destroyed in that big war. So we need to have a lot of kids to increase the population. I get that. But you know what? A century has now passed, and civilization has already recovered to this point. Isn't that enough? Why are they still making more of them? Why do they keep making so many kids?
That's easy, meow. You can never have too many dice ready for the next time you need to roll them, meow.
Dice? Are we just dice in someone's game?
We're probably getting born in numbers several times larger than is strictly necessary, and we're competing with each other and being forced to eat each other so that only the kind of kids that adults want are left.
You're a die that rolled a 6. So, you get to fly with a gauntlet.
That's right, meow. We're all 6s, nothing more to it, meow meow.
So, it's not like we're bringing anyone down. The ones just get weeded out on their own. Is that true? Am I really not bringing anyone else down? I'm sorry, Koshka, Lilia. Again, I'm getting so negative I don't even know what I'm saying.
You should up your meds a bit, meow. If you take the right amount, you can be happy all the time, just like me, meow meow.
No.
Lilia might have taken a slightly different amount of stimulants today. She was acting even more hyper than usual. Chloe, on the other hand, had apparently been born with a natural resistance to stimulants. So unfortunately, a quick shot of drugs wasn't enough to make her suddenly happy.
You aren't a one, Chloe. For now, just relax and don't think about it. I'm so tired. Thanks, Koshka.
So yeah, this whole mentality is surrounding... Oh boy. Makes sense that all these kids are on speed when they're being compared to fighter pilots all the time. That is true, Evie.
Oh my goodness.
It's that part of her personality that got her sent to this crazy research center, meow.
Sure, she has it rough.
Well, you and I are the ones making it about 3 times rougher for her, meow.
If the world's hard for Chloe to live in, but easy for broken people like us, then it's the world that's really screwed up. It would have been better if the world had been destroyed in World 3.
It was, meow. That's why this is the world of death after its destruction.
So we're in the pits of hell?
I hope this world gets destroyed soon, meow.
I'll definitely destroy it. This screwed up world.
Gunhild has entered the room, Poyo. Hi, everyone. Where's Chloe? You just missed her, meow.
It's just her usual self-hatred. She needs to take more meds.
I see 80% relatable is a big fan of Hilda and also these young sociopaths.
I mean, I love Koshka.
I do like Koshka. I like Grave Mole quite a bit, actually. Both.
Yeah.
A lot of these kids are pretty good.
Yeah, like I really do love Brunhilde too. And Ruthabel.
Rethabeel, yeah.
Ruthabel, yeah, I really like her too.
Poor thing. How's it on your end, Meow? I guess you could say it was a nice meal. People who roll 6 or 7 have it so easy, it's enough to make you jealous. Because Gunhild is one of the few people who didn't have that natural, talent in P3 levels, right?
Instructor?
She had never expected to run into Okanogi in a place like this. She was so surprised she literally leapt to attention. Okanogi briskly walked over to Chloe, who also almost seemed to be in a state of suspended animation, like a frog being stared at by a snake. Then he applied a running start super ultra Okanogi chop to her head at the perfect angle.
Why? That hurts, ouch, Instructor!
Seriously? What are you doing, slacking off your training just because I'm not watching? I saw the whole thing from the monitor room. What do I keep telling you? You're moping about. That means you aren't using your full strength. When you're really, really giving it all, you've got to empty your mind. Your mind was wandering while you thought about something pointless, and you hesitated, right? I can tell. I can tell everything you're thinking by the way you hang your head, by the angle of your jaw.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Instructor.
I saw your scores for a few days since you came here, and they're pathetic. You're useless, your scum, and your rays are all trash.
Her grades here hadn't actually been bad. However, Okanogi yelled at her, saying they were completely horrible and chopped her again and again.
You're bad for Chloe now.
Oh, Okanogi. Oh, so this is where you were. Could you translate for me again? Isn't that a girl from before? She was training like... Oh, yeah.
She was trained like a coward, so I decided to inject her fighting spirit.
What do you think you're doing? Please don't interfere with development targets without permission. Corporal punishment against a target can disrupt their self-empowerment and...
Shut up! If you give Chloe this kind of fancy training in this fancy institution, she'll never turn her cowardice to fighting spirit. The best way for her to get fired up is with a chop.
I think this guy...
This guy, yeah.
Yeah?
He sure is something. Those are pretty poor choices, 8% relatable.
Let's go, Chloe. Koshka and Lily are equipment from here, but not you, and this place isn't soon for you anyway. We're leaving. Your fighting spirit has been laid astray by worldly desires, but I'll beat it back into shape.
Yes, sir, Instructor.
You can't do that, Captain Okanogi, unless you follow the proper procedures.
Listen up. This broken style of training might work for people who are already broken. Koshka and Lily are basically broken problem children. They're both treated like equipment here, after all.
Okanogi's definitely an asshole, as demonstrated by many multiple scenes, but he also seems to be aware that everything surrounding this is also a pile of shit.
Yeah, but I think it's also kind of weird that the moment that Chloe gets away from his abuse, he comes back and drags her back in.
He's definitely an asshole. I was about to go yeah, but no, is about what I was gonna say.
It's like, Which one's worse? Honestly, I don't think he's even giving her the better option on.
He's not giving her the better option because for her, getting her self-confidence boosted at the cost of all those other children is probably straight up better for her. It's just kind of fucked up. But this is also fucked up.
Yeah, because I'm pretty certain Okanagi's gonna do the same thing anyway. However, Chloe hasn't broken yet. She hasn't broken yet! So putting her through a broken train regime would be utterly pointless. You see? He's like, I want to break her with my own two hands. Gotta train her way that's not so cold-blooded. Are you getting me? Let's go, Chloe.
Yes, sir, instructor.
I see Okanoe is still quite hot-blooded too, instructor. Ho ho ho.
That's right. I've got one more thing to say to you.
What is it?
It is true that Koshka and Lily are your equipment. However, Brave Mole's train instructor is me, Okanagi Tetsuru. It's not just Chloe. Just try screwing around with these two. I'll land one of my hot-blooded punishment chops on your head too. That's all. Let's go, Chloe. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Roger that, instructor. 1, 2. 1, 2.
Yes, I'd really do prefer Okanoe's methods. I feel like we're gonna get some...
we love seeing visible child abuse instead of emotional abuse. It's more comedic.
Yep. You can even put the comedic slap and pan sounds on it. We might get some contrast to what he just said, though. So then I told them, meow, I'm not your doll, meow. Did you actually say it with your mouth?
I'll bet she just said it in her head.
I did say it with my mouth, meow. I may have whispered it a bit, but I said it with my mouth.
There's no way you said it with your mouth, Majit.
What does that even mean? I don't...
Pomojit. I mean, I'm pulling that
up to make sure that's not a slur.
Pomojit. So Pomojit seems to be a Russian word, but I don't
Pomojit Russian? Let me...
It's a Russian word, and I think it makes sense if Koshka's Russian. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right. I don't...
I don't... Welp. Oh, maybe she's glitching out.
Trying to pronounce Russian for the first time. Here we go. I don't know.
Koshka? Looks like Koshka Kazuna's freaking out again, meow.
Oh no, she's having a mental breakdown.
That's hilarious, meow. I'll record it so I can play it back and laugh at her later, meow.
Evie says might be Russian for
that's what I was finding, but it doesn't make sense because she called like Lily that as an insult, right?
Sorry. It suddenly got rough.
Are you okay?
Not exactly.
Want to call it a day. It's starting to get pretty rough on my end too, meow.
The guys today are sloppy. The drugs have worn off and it's getting seriously.
Koshka has exited room 2 error. So content warnings. The thing we mentioned earlier about yeah, some body stuff that is not you know, palatable for all audiences. If you're willing to keep on, but if not, yeah.
Is it body horror we're talking about?
Yeah. You'll understand in a bit.
Yeah. Is it any like brutal self-mutilation or?
It's not specifically self-mutilation, but it does have a surgery
Okay.
kind of. So if you had any particular experiences with a bad surgery of any kind, that's.
Mm-hmm. So it's gonna get graphic. With are there gonna be extra descriptions of, like organ, like stuff falling off?
There might
Okay.
be there. I don't want to like give it all away, but yeah, there's definitely some stuff with internal organs. We'll best to get
I'm
that
just
out
trying
there.
to prepare the audience if there's like a certain aspect of like gore they're not into.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Alrighty.
I feel like we're ready to go into it then. There is a worse scene, but that scene's a while out, and that scene's completely out of there. That scene, yeah, got to me. The other one CK Whisper's talking about. We'll give content warning for when that happens as well.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my. Let's call it a day then, Meow. You do your best too, Lilia. You should be saying that to my doctors, not me, Meow. So see you later, gun hit. Lilia has exited the room due to an error, Poyo. The difference between people who get to enjoy their youth and those who can't is harsh. Koshka has entered the room, Poyo. Koshka has exited the room due to an error, Poyo. Koshka has entered the room, Poyo. Koshka has entered the room due to an error, Poyo.
Oh,
Koshka has
goodness.
entered the room, Poyo.
Oh no.
I think I'll head out too. Koshka, Lilia, take care.
No.
Gunheld has exited the room, Poyo. Now that you're supposed to leave a room, Poyo. I wish Koshka and Lilia would learn from her, Poyo.
No. No.
Koshka's body
Ooh,
lay
can I do
atop
this narration?
Yeah, go for it.
Koshka's body lay on top of a bed. However, this wasn't a bed for sleeping on. Several harnesses were attached to it, connected to various machines. Men in airtight suits were staring at the various graphs being displayed on those. As she lay on the bed, Koshka was naked. They hadn't even given her a single. However, after all,
You're cutting out for me. Everyone can hear Jupiter fine, right?
Oh no, I'm cutting out.
You're cutting out for
Give me
me.
a moment.
Maybe not the audience.
Yeah,
Maybe
someone
it's
said I'm
an
cutting out
issue
a
with my
bit.
headphone.
You want to just cover it then?
No, it's fine. Oh yeah, Seawater says you're cutting out a bit. Do you want to just give it a different shot
Yeah.
again? No?
Yeah. Okay.
Give it a shot, Jupiter.
As she lay on the bed, Koshka was naked. They hadn't even given her a single piece of clothing to cover herself with. However, her being naked was relatively unembarrassing. After all, at least her body was still covered by flesh.
Perfect. Data transfer normal. It's still holding at the Madonna's maximum speed. The burden on the Pentor is increasing. Should we administer more painkiller? No, wait. That'll add noise. I want to hold at the current rate.
Koshka's head had been opened. Her head, her bones, her blood, vessels, nerves, and brain. Her cerebrum, her cerebellum, and her diencephalon. I don't know, organs.
Diencephalon?
All of them had been spread out from the inside so that they covered even more area than.
Yeah.
However, she wasn't the only one. With her at the center, at least 10 other girls, their heads.
Yep, open the same way.
Only the lights of the machine's monitors rarely lit the doctor who had entered the.
Subject 40 through 48 are still null. We've confirmed that 49 has received a signal. The experiment's over for 48 and under. Dispose of them. The lights disappeared around all but one of the girls, and they were swallowed by darkness. The remaining girl was apparently being made to reproduce something from inside Koshka's brain. However, it didn't seem to be going smoothly. The machine monitoring the girl designated as 49 began to sound alarms one after another, and as the pace of those alarms began to gradually increase. 49 is receiving the signal well. There's some noise, but it's minimal. The Pandora has been at the pain limit level for over a minute now. We'll need the Director General's permission to continue the experiment any longer. How well is 49 receiving? What's the noise rate? It's at 0.193. That's a good number, but no. That's a long way from our goal of 1.15. Suspend the experiment. Apply painkillers to the Pandora. It's up to the surgery team now. 040 through 49 will be disposed of in accordance with the Human Rights Manual.
Oh, no. Poor Koshka.
12 seconds have passed since 40 through 49 were injected with the hypnosine. Okay, that should be humane enough. Send them over to the examination department. Ka-clunk. Loud metallic sounds rang around at once. The beds of the girls surrounding Koshka delivered them into a gaping abyss. Their faces hadn't even been stitched back together to resemble how they had looked in life. Of course, none of those pitiful girls had volunteered to become specimens in this kind of experiment. They had only volunteered because of their innocent dreams of flying in the sky. However, these applicants were all greens. The blue candidates who would actually be able to fly had all been chosen when they were all fertilized eggs. Now
Eugenics.
now administering painkillers. The Pandora has left the pain limit level. If we had another Pandora, I would have wanted to push through. It's too bad. Have we still not been able to find a spare? Well, Pandora's box was a gift from the gods, after all. Then I guess we can't expect to get a replacement for Miss Kitty here. We'll make a good, precious use of you for a long time. Koshka's bed automatically moved and disappeared through the automatic door. It was headed towards the surgery department. There, her head would be put back together again by a 4D printer and robot arms. They had already made a stock of Koshka's skull using synthesized calcium.
Oh my goodness.
They literally unfolded every part of her brain and her nerves and her blood vessels and her spine after opening up her head and skull.
The pain has finally died down. Is anyone there?
Lily has entered the room, Poya. Lily has exited the room due to error, Poya. Lily has entered the room, Poya. Lily has exited the room due to error, Poya. Lily has entered the room, Poya. Gah! Learn how to leave the room properly already, Poyo.
What are you doing? What the heck that's supposed to mean? I'll record it so I can play it back and laugh at it later.
They're so similar.
These kids just have seizures while they're in like the internet consciously.
Yeah.
And then like their body, oh god.
And their friends are making fun of them as they're being horribly experimented on.
Oh god. I guess that explains why Koshka's covered in bandages now.
Yeah, because they had to put together all of her flesh and brain back together with a new calcium skull.
Oh god. Who was Veer again?
Veer was me.
I think you, yeah.
Oh, Doctor. Huh, that new look really suits you. The man she called Doctor rubbed his head embarrassedly. Is it that the chat is their happy place and they're trying to go there? Yeah, like, they have human interaction there, and people.
Yeah.
It's so messed up. And they disposed of all those other extra children they're experimenting on. Because they want whatever is inside Koshik's head, what they refer to as Pandora's box.
Oh, goodness.
So they're trying to replicate it in other people.
Yeah.
Apparently still wasn't used to the feel of it, like someone who had just changed their hairdo. Even translation, when done in excess, can be harmful to the body. How about a change in atmosphere? Would you like to take a walk with me? The man apparently been literally buried in a pile of thick, gorgeous books with antique bindings, reading constantly. He would read one, then put on the pile, read another, then put it on the pile. And after they piled up into the tower, they fell over. Apparently those books were so interesting that he kept reading them even after he had been buried. Veer dragged the man out from there, even though the man looked like he still wanted to read more, but immediately he realized Veer was surely going to show him something interesting again. Intriguing, aren't they? Those books by the best translators throughout history. They're all fellow captives of our God's wisdom, just like us. The little things they notice in the process of trial and error still contribute to our modern translation and discoveries. Judging by the pile of books you read, I suppose you're interested in the eternal youth variety of immortality, yes? There's no need to be embarrassed. The ability to focus on one's greatest interests is one of the most important driving forces we have. Eternal youth is a wonderful theme that we can never help but be entranced by. Several of our comrades have used all sorts of methods to try and translate the wisdom leading to that goal. If you're interested, they can guide you as well. Eternal youth. To remain young in body and mind, released from the bonds of death, living forever. It's one of humanity's ultimate dreams.
And then you get Land of the Lustrous and its eternal pain.
It's eternal pain, yes. Poor Foss. Foss did nothing wrong. We stand.
Yes, I am a 100% Foss believer. I stand for Foss.
You won't get any spicy takes. Oh, by the way, Jupiter, I caught up back with Attack on Titan again. Well, I've been caught up, right? But I'm like, oh, the anime's out. I'm gonna see how the communities. Oh no, people are saying genocide's okay. Wait, what?
Oh no.
Like half the fan base has gone like completely nutso, and it's wild. Land of the Lustrous is, or otherwise known as Hoseki no Kuni, is manga. Series that both me and Jupiter like. It's really good. It explores a lot of things around mortality and growing up and changing as a person. And it also has a pretty tightly knitted mystery plot. The art's very interesting and striking. We would recommend it a lot, overall.
It has really good surreal body horror.
Yeah, this is the People Are Gems thing. It's real good. Our comrade in this room has been fascinated by the same dream. Why don't you go watch him? Oh, my mistake. I believe he got bored of that and now he's working on translating teleportation. Instead of him, you should try the comrade in this room. In every single room, they were researching super technology that the outside world would have considered fantasy. When they stood in front of one of the rooms, an automatic door opened with a soft sound. Inside it was a chaotic mismatch of complicated strange machines, plumbing and power cords. So, if teleportation is the thing he can work on, then how can Beatrice say in red that there's no way into the room? Checkmate.
Oh.
The AMS he's currently using in his research is capable of making the human body forever young. On that point, at least, I believe this project has achieved success. On the mid-air display was a bizarre figure that resembled a bacteriophage. It looked like an inorganic object, or maybe a robot, or maybe a life form, or maybe none of those things. It's strange. The closer we get to unraveling the mysteries of life, the more the form that takes shape seems to resemble something or other that God has already created. It truly is intriguing. What? If we can already create immortality, you want to give it a try? That's brave of you, but perhaps you'd better wait until this project is complete. It will make you immortal, but as a side effect, It will inflame your skin all over your body, give you pimples and blisters, wear out your whole body with fevers, and even impair your consciousness. Or something like that. It's still quite distant from what you were hoping for, yes? Even so, he certainly succeeded in translating part of God's wisdom. When I think about his joy,
What if
it
I
makes
don't
me
want to be
jealous.
human but want to be immortal?
Still,
Checkmate.
where could he be? You want to be in constant agony forever and immortal?
Hey, I mean, I'm already in agony under capitalism, so... You know what? Go big, go home.
I feel like you'll regret that decision in a second. Still, where could he be? Oh, that's where he was. I suppose we ought to leave him be. Vera giggled as she left the room with the man who was following her. Ah, rope. Rope around. One of the pipes in the distant back of the chaotic room, the room's owner had hung himself. He didn't seem to have done it recently, but thanks to his magnificent AMS, he was probably still alive. I probably should have put a condom warning for this too. So yeah, he's constantly burning up and inflamed with sores all over his body in constant fever, and he cannot die.
I have to be leaving soon, so
Yeah.
how long is this chapter? Because I think I might be able to finish this chapter.
This
and
this
then-
one's gonna be short, and I feel like that'd be a great ending point then.
Yeah.
We usually
sweet.
go for like 3 hours, sometimes early like 2.5. We're about to hit 2.5 soon, so that fits. Melmoth the Bound is fucked up book. Yeah, alright. I think I've heard of that. Veer and the man went further and further down a large spiral stairway, descending into the abyss. They reached the lowest levels of this underground laboratory. Oh, by the way, I completely forgot to ask you because we just started streaming. But how did your audition go, Jupiter?
I wasn't able to work on it today because errands took up my recording time, so I might do it tomorrow.
Okay. Anyway, good luck so
Yeah.
much. You got this. You'll be able to play as one of those Genshin Impact gachas.
Thanks.
The spiral staircase ended in a massive ring-shaped catwalk. Below, it was pitch black. The catwalk had fencing that went to about waist height. However, that was utterly unreassuring after viewing the abyss below them, which swirled down and was filled with an eerie black. Girls. Don't mind him. We just came here for a walk. The man hadn't thought anyone else would be there, so the sight of the girls left him unable to stand as he reacted like a shocking child. Those girls were the guard of this underground laboratory. Their only job was to protect this sacred place, but it wasn't clear if they were really girls. Once you experienced the way they felt like something else that only looked like girls, their mere presence would be enough to terrify you. The girls once again erased all sign of their presence, fading into the darkness, but their gazes never left the air. This is my favorite place. Please, look into the darkness beneath you. That is the type of wisdom being translated here, or perhaps that is still waiting to be translated, which grabs my heart the strongest.
The void. They're trying to translate the void.
Translate the void, but except there's something down in there. The man peered into the darkness. There was such a dark abyss that even doing this scared him. However, as his eyes adjusted, he spotted something massive which looked like a man-made object. This thing, which seemed to be lead down into a real abyss, or possibly the depths of hell itself, was a gigantic hatch. What do you think lies beyond that door? Beyond that lies the future. Literally, the future of 1,000 years from now. That was all Vera knew about what lay in the pit beneath them. It had already been there when she first came here. However, she didn't know who had translated it, or when. Records that had been left behind had only told her of its existence. According to the partial translation that remained, a twisted, isolated space-time is sealed up in there. She knew nothing of how it worked or what its significance was. However, it was said that those depths held a completed product whose translation had been finished. Something was locked inside that hatch, and was directly linked to the future a millennium from now. In other words, the instant you go down the hatch, you'll time slip 1,000 years into the future. Of course, unlike that failed immortality AMS you just saw, you'll be to remain healthy. instantly time-slipping a millennium ahead without melting away. In other words, it truly was the door into the next millennium. From what I can tell, reading the remnants of that translation rather than literally sending you 1,000 years in the future time within it apparently freezes for 1,000 years. Now, strictly speaking, the sections of space-time on both sides are separated. And mumble. Well, in a sense, it's really fitting to call it a time capsule. We're talking about 1,000 years. Beyond there lies unknown civilizations, unknown arts, unknown knowledge. Isn't that a dream? Just imagining those things is what I love most. Though some of our dreamless comrades will say that humanity will probably have been destroyed 1,000 years from now. That time capsule hadn't been activated yet. It was still empty on the inside. Since someone had made it, it must have been done to send something 1,000 years into the future. So what was supposed to be inside there? That much hadn't been translated yet.
It's like someone's special recipe to make the ultimate sandwich or something. It's like scientists are like, what is this? It's just a banal thing.
Oh, it's specifically petty. Like, fuck you, losers. It was nothing.
Oh my god.
It's 1,000 years gift box created by the wisdom of God. What in the world belongs in there?
It's a gift card to like Blockbuster, and she's all like, Blockbuster all shut down. Oh my god.
No, but you're thinking too small. In 1,000 years from now, Blockbuster makes its comeback.
Oh no. I'm just thinking like it's a gift card to something that doesn't exist anymore.
What in the world belongs in there? A person? A thing? Knowledge? Or will it stay empty there for 1,000 years? If humanity of the future opened it with high hopes of what's inside, would they despair when they found out it was empty? That's another thing that's fun to imagine. The man with Vier, disturbed by the darkness beneath him, kept on rubbing his head, seeming unable to calm down. The top of his head looked as though it had been sliced off horizontally through the center of his forehead and was completely flat. Maybe he found it rubbing his flat head amusing, because he giggled nervously and kept rubbing it over and over. Man's been lobotomized.
Oh no. Oh no. Well, we're going into some
So this
deep.
So this was the body horror chapter.
Yeah, it was.
Oh boy. So any last thoughts before we'll leave you to be free, Jupiter?
Well, we're getting into the Kool-Aid now. No turning back.
No turning back. Things are only gonna keep popping off.
Just gonna keep tumbling down.
Keep
tumbling down.
I'm trying to remember the other lines of comments Super Sir Todd, like, I tried and nothing, damn it. Oh, I guess I'll just play Com Sir Todd, because who cares about a DMC strike? Actually, no, because I need to download stuff. Anyway, thanks so much for everyone showing here. I hope you enjoyed the horrible child abuse, body horror, military capitalistic hellscape, and huge educational problems. What else did we get in this episode? Gender discrimination.
The secret to immortality sucks.
Gender discrimination as well. Immortality's kind of trash.
Yeah.
We have horrible, weird, like, super science experiments going on that we have no idea what's actually happening. So yeah,
He says, "Thank you for the stream. This is a nightmare."
I hope you enjoyed experiencing this nightmare with us as well. It will surely get better in following episodes. Anyway, everyone,
Okay.
Thanks so much, Jupiter. Thank you for being here as well, and good luck with what you got to do. Stream's over. Thanks, everyone.